guys, welcome to yet another video tutorial. Okay, here I'll be showing you how to configure Active Directory, okay, on Windows Server 2012 Data Center Edition. Okay, so here I have a new server machine, okay, installed the Data Center Edition, okay, 2012. As you can see, my name is not changed, so I have to do all the settings now. So firstly, before I start anything, I need to change my computer name by clicking on that and then going for change and then changing my server to DC1. That's what I want. I want my server name to be DC1. It has to be relevant, okay, before it can be my domain. So after doing that, I'll go for OK, and it says it needs a restart. Yes, okay, and close. So when I close, okay, I'm gonna restart this, okay, and I'll get back to you when it's done. Okay guys, I've restarted. Okay, after restart, I'll actually press Ctrl Delete. So now I'm here. Okay, I'll type in my password, okay, for my local server. That's my server, okay, and to log me in. Alright, so my server is coming up, okay. So now my name the name of my server is now relevant, okay, called DC1. So how do I make it, okay, a domain controller? Okay, because probably the domain controller is what we call the Active Directory and the domain. Okay, now my server manager is coming up. Okay, next thing to do actually now is to give my server an IP address. Okay, I can't just go ahead and installing server rules to make Active Directory. The first thing is to give an IP address. After that's the second thing actually. So the first, change server name. Second, give an IP address. So I'm going to give it an IP address by right clicking on my network icon down there and then go for Open Network and Sharing Center. Okay, now the Network and Sharing Center window opens up. Okay, so here I would go for change adapter settings. Okay, now here, this is my network card, so I have to give my network card an IP address by right clicking on it. Properties, I'll go for IP version 4 here, double click on it. Okay, double click on it. Okay, let me click on properties. Yes, click on properties and then you go for use the following IP address. Okay, and then here you type in the IP address you want to use. So I'm using 192.168.0.1 and boom, here I'm giving it the subnet mask of class C. Okay, and the DNS IP as well, okay, should be the same. But the thing is, when we insert this IP, okay, 192.168.0.1, okay, if we insert it here, after making the domain controller, it will be changed to the loop back address, which is 127.0.0.1. So the best thing is just give it an IP address and go for OK, close, and close, and close. Yes. Now after doing this, note that Server 2012, okay, does not work with DC promo. So you can't go ahead and run the DC promo in the run dialog box. The first thing to do here is we install ADDS first, okay, by going into add rows on features, okay, and then here is the before you begin interface, and then you go for next. Alright, and then you go for next, rule based. Okay, select the server. Okay, now you can see what's happening here. It says select a server or virtual address and go for next as well. Okay, now here you select ADDS, okay, and then you go for add features here. Okay, to add this features needed, and you go for next, next, next. Okay, and install. Alright, so probably this will start installation, so I'll get back to you when it's done. Okay guys, here we are. Okay, that's done. installing the AD, so we need to promote the server to a domain controller. So we need to click on this. Okay, and then the promotion wizard pops up. Okay, after we click on that, so we're gonna go for add a new forest. Okay, because we don't have an existing domain. Okay, and we are not as adding this, okay, to any domain controller, so we are creating a new one. All right, so we're gonna click on add a new forest. Okay, we're gonna click on add a new forest. All right, so after clicking on that, it says specify the domain information for this operation. Okay, so this should be what, this should be where the domain name, okay, is. So what should be our domain name? I'm gonna make this domain contoso.com. Okay, so we're gonna type in contoso.com. All right, after typing that there, okay, you go for next. All right, so you check if that name, okay, is valid. All right, so here we have it. It says select functional level of the new forest area domain. Okay, we have the functional level and we have the domain level. That's the first functional level and the domain functional level. Okay, the first functional level, if you make it server 2012, simply means every domain that will be part of this forest must be using server 2012. Okay, so I'm gonna make a forest functional level server 2008. Okay, which is advisable to do, or you can further go to server 2003, and the functional level as well, you can also set server 2008. Okay, that's for this domain alone in this forest. Okay, so I'm gonna go for server 2008 R2. Okay, simply means in my domain, any domain controller or any server that will be joined to this domain needs to be server 2008 R2 or higher. All right. In addition, I want to configure what, the DNS, so I have to select that. Okay, and then here I'll provide my what, restore mode password. Okay, it's not the same password as the server's password. Okay, it's not the same. This is different. This is a restore mode password. Okay, but for simplicity's sake, you can make it the same. We'll go for next. Okay, so all right, now it says a delegation for this DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone cannot be found. We don't have a DNS server yet. Okay, so we can't delegate the control. All right, so we're not coming to do it. So you just go for next. Don't worry about that. Okay, and now it says it's verifying the NetBIOS name assigned to the domain. Contoso, actually, that's the NetBIOS name. And you go for next. Alright, so here we're going to select database path, log file path, and sysvol. Okay, so probably you just have to leave it to the default. Alright, leave it to the default settings. Alright, don't let any mistake or anything come in. Just leave it to default settings. And next, okay, so here it's gonna review all the settings we made. Okay, you can export the scripts to save it somewhere for your documentations. Okay, and then you go for next. Okay, and then it's checking if we can install on this server. Okay, if it supports, so it's verifying the prerequisite for domain controller operation. Alright, so here it's saying that, okay, so all these settings, okay, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so because it says pass successfully completed, so you just have to click install to begin your domain controller promotion. Okay, so as this is starting, it should take a while. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause the video and I'll get back to you, okay, when it's done. Okay guys, after the installation, okay, my server restarted, okay, and then it took a while. Now I'm here. Okay, it just as well do the same. So I'm gonna type in my password for the server, okay, to log me into my new domain controller. Okay guys, so my server manager, okay, starts up. Alright, now you can, if you can remember, we gave the system an IP address, but we didn't give the DNS an IP address, so we need to give it an IP address. So go to the network and sharing center down here. Alright, when that window pops up, okay, we're gonna change the adapter settings. Alright, and then right click on this, okay, network add properties, and you double click on the IPv4. Alright, as you can see what I told you earlier. Alright, so we need to give this the same IP address as the same thing, because it's our ADDS server at the same time our DNS server, so making it what? Our domain controller. So we're gonna go for okay, okay, you can refresh that, okay, and then you close this. Alright, and then you can close this. Alright, so here I have my server manager. Okay, opened up for me. It's still loading up. Okay, so basically we've configured our domain controller. Okay, we're gonna see the properties, okay, and then you know that now as a domain controller. Okay, we're gonna see that by going to the local server here. Okay, yes, well, it's loading up. Okay, all right, so as you can see that I'm having now domain contoso.com, computer name dc1. That's kind of relevant, so the full computer name now is dc1.contoso.com. Right, so that is how you configure, okay, your domain controller, Active Directory. Okay, making a domain controller, that's how you configure Active Directory. So you go to tools here. If you go to tools, you're gonna see that we have Active Directory information and everything installed. We also have DNS installed. Right, it's as simple as that. All right, thank you very much for watching. Okay, I'll see you on another video. Bye.